Well, it's Christmas Day, folks. Yes, I couldn't keep myself away from the camera. I'm right here because there's a new story or two to talk about. And I hope you're having a great Christmas Day so far. It's pretty much over and done with me now. All the Christmas carols are out of the way. I just got lots of binge watching to continue, which has been really, really awesome. But as you know, folks, one of my favorite films this year, certainly in my top 5, is Ghostbusters Afterlife, directed by Jason Reitman. Freaking fantastic movie. It's really great. Was it scary enough? No. Could they have gotten rid of Finn Wolfhard and his strange on-screen girlfriend? Yeah, they could have moved them out of the way. They had nothing to do with the plot or the narrative going forward, but I thought Carrie Coon looked super hot. Paul Rudd was just funny as ever. But this is a really great story in terms of again, a stupid take from Paul Feig, the director of the much hated, much maligned 2016 Ghostbusters, where, you know, it's all right to have an all-female Ghostbusters and really handsome, hunky beefcake himself from Australia, Chris Hemsworth, as the object of the female gaze, because, of course, if it was the other way around, you couldn't have that because everybody was saying, it's wrong, it's inappropriate, you can't have men gazing at women in such a unobtrusive way. So, you know, in fact that Chris Hemsworth took one for the team was pretty interesting. So Paul Feig calls out Sony for a omission of the 2016 Ghostbusters from the ultimate Ghostbusters box set, which I am probably going to be picking up at some point. Hopefully it's a steelbook edition. I don't know many details about it, but when I do, I might do a video on it. So in a tweet to Sony Pictures, Paul Feig says, I know this must be a mistake. We do have lots of fans, and Bill, Dan and Ernie were in it and won the Kids Award for Best Feature Film the year it came out. So yes, this Kids' Choice Award, I mean, look, I'm sounding old-fashioned when I say this from my point of view. When you think of a kids' film, you're thinking of a PG-rated film like The Wizard or The Goonies. And, you know, those films just had some really cool jokes in them. But from what I remember about Ghostbusters 2016, and I didn't watch the film, I heard enough not to watch it, but there were some really inappropriate, was it queef jokes? That's what I've heard. And, yeah, that doesn't really say anything to me at all. So it's is it any wonder that he's a bit bitter about this? But I will point out one thing here, guys. The common misconception is Paul Feig is the man to blame. We know who to blame for this fiasco, don't we? Yes, it's everyone's favorite wig-wearing Sony CEO herself. Yes, Amy Pascal.
Shut up, you
No, she's
ugly.
not really a CEO, but she used to be once, didn't she? And now when you see her in interviews, she looks like she's been taking a bit of the funny Colombian stuff, if you know what I mean. So this is a really cool thing that I found online, which is basically the leaked email from 2014. It is available for anybody to see. It's in the public domain, so you'd have to go to some secret Google Drive and access the information. It's all out there in the public. But really quite interesting was this email from Paul Feig to Amy Pascal, and he had a suggestion what would make the third act of the film really kind of cool. So tonally, the movie would be scarier, more high-tech than the original films, and set pieces will be bigger while still being very funny. For example, I want in the third act to have the entire police and army forces accompany the Ghostbusters to the final battleground. But since our villain only wants to deal with the Ghostbusters and wants to make the government look ridiculous, he possesses the entire police and army forces and makes them do a big ridiculous dance number in the middle of 5th Avenue, which sounds very similar to the dance-off in Guardians of the Galaxy, which was released in 2014, and this email took place in 2014. So did Paul Feig watch the Guardians of the Galaxy and decided that would be his idea to Amy Pascal? Funny enough, when she heard that pitch, she kind of liked the idea and said, let's talk some more. So I believe after that they were going to go to, I think Feig was going to go to Amy Pascal's house for dinner and they were going to talk more about it. Now, over at flickeringmyth.com, they've got a fantastic article, 14 rumors about the troubled Ghostbusters reboot production. I'm not going to go through all 14 of the rumors, but at number 1, Amy Pascal hated Ivan Reitman. Yet when Ivan Reitman was trying to get a version of Ghostbusters 3 off the ground that everyone at Sony was happy with, The then studio head, Amy Pascal, wasn't happy with his direction. Reports say that Reitman was looking to direct a film that featured new recruits, including Jonah Hill, Zach Galifianakis, Adam Pally, Jesse Eisenberg, Anne Hathaway, and Brie Larson. Yeah, her. Wow. When she was still almost likable. Just. Sacha Baron Cohen was going to be the baddie, but Amy Pascal didn't like Cohen for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe he makes more money than she is. Maybe he's more subversive than she is. Who knows? But she also wanted Seth Rogen, oh God, and Evan Goldberg to be involved in the film a lot more. And she wanted Rogen to star in it. Well, that would have been a turn-off anyway. So following the death of Harold Ramis, rest in peace, dude, Reitman had to step away and let Pascal take over the development. The all-female Ghostbusters was born out of the Amazing Spider-Man 2's failure. So because that film failed, they wanted to have a Spider-Woman Black Cat or an all-female superhero team called Glass Ceiling. I think that's something to do with Silver Sable in the Marvel Comics, but I might be wrong. Although TASM failed at the box office and killed all of Sony's plans, Pascal still wanted to do the all-female movie and sent a presentation over to Paul Feig, because Feig has a good rapport with females on his set for his R-rated comedies. So that didn't get any further. And then, yes, so the budget for the production of Ghostbusters 2016 started off at $170 million, and then it was slashed to $169 million by the new guy, Tom Rothman, who took over Amy Pascal's position after she stepped down. So we had that one. Melissa McCarthy and Feig argued a lot on set, so I guess we're not going to get any more films from them in future. One source noted that the McCarthy was so upset because she wanted to make an actual good Ghostbusters film in the vein of the animated cartoon series, or the cartoon series, but they're instead stuck with a lame duck of a script. Yikes. McCarthy also argued with her fellow co-stars. So, well, wouldn't you like to be a fly in that wall, right? I'm not surprised. So this caused a lot of more friction on the set. All the positivity just died down, didn't it? And Kristen Wiig, following all the on-set arguments, Wiig reportedly spent most of the time away from the set in her trailer, which would suggest she was not the cast member McCarthy was arguing with, apparently lamenting her choice to sign on to this disaster of a movie. Wiig is also reportedly very upset with how the film turned out, and it should be noted that she hasn't done a lot of press for it either. So folks, were you surprised by this news about Paul Feig getting himself into yet more hot water about the omission of the 2016 Ghostbusters film? To me, it feels like he's been the patsy of all of this. It's not his fault. Amy Pascal was looking for a scapegoat. I think she realized, look, Amy Pascal is not on this planet. I mean, her head is in cloud cuckoo land. So whatever fears and tribulations she had about Ivan Reitman returning to direct a Ghostbusters 3. And I tell you what, if Reitman had his choice and he had his chance to do it, I think it would have been a sizable hit. It could have been a good reboot at the time. But like I said, Amy Pascal, her with the scary wigs and the scary face, she's to blame for this more than Paul Feig. Do you agree with me or do you not agree with me, folks? So if you enjoyed this video today, and by the way, are you going to get the Ghostbusters Ultimate box set when it comes out? Leave a comment below, smack that subscribe button right in the scrotum, and I'll see you on the next video.
Like and subscribe, or get your nuts Krogan crushed with Jason King.